watching clips, the best moments from our live streams every Monday and Friday. Don't miss out. Watchale. Brandon, they say celebs are to blame, but do they even matter nowadays? Stop blaming celebrity endorsements for Kamala Harris's loss. We need to hear from artists now, more than ever, says Variety. Yikes.
Yeah, I think that was a strategic mistake by Kamal as well. I don't think celebrity endorsements matter at all. And I kind of laughed when I saw them trot out Taylor Swift as if that was going to make a real difference, and Arnold Schwarzenegger and some of these other people. People look now at those types of people, with disdain, unfortunately. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying a lot of the working class, like, they don't look up to these people. And the other thing I'd say is, the nature of being a celebrity has changed. Like, it's been watered down. Now you have people like the Hawk Talk girl who can say one stupid line and all of a sudden she's a millionaire and famous.
Mm.
In the old days, you actually had to work for it. And so, with that, with the Jake Pauls of the world and some of these other people that, just basically created fame out of doing stupid things,
Hmm.
it's watered down what it means to be famous, and therefore the quality of famous people. And people just don't look at famous people anymore like they used to. And so, yeah, I thought that was a waste of money for Kamal and a waste of time to think that that was going to make a difference. And plus, I've never seen a discernible poll in my life that suggested it would make a difference.
I absolutely agree with you. But let's see what this angle of this article is trying to take. Did you know that Bruce Springsteen and Beyonce lost the election for Kamala Harris, or at least bear a large part of the responsibility for her party's failure at the polls this year? It's true, at least if you listen to some of the punditry coming from conservatives. Ah, it's a conservative's fault, Fletcher.
It's
And even
always
from some,
those darn pesky conservatives.
yep, and even from some Democratic operatives eager to find some celebs to push into the middle of their current circular firing squad. So you already seen the angle here, Brandon, of the Variety article. Pretty par for the course. Nothing surprising. Listening to some of these voices, you'd think that Harris could have won 6 or 7 swing states if only Beyonce had shown up to deliver one single 4-minute rally speech, or if Taylor Swift hadn't devoted a singular 30-word Instagram post to a Harris endorsement. Imagine the more favorable electoral counts if only some of the most beloved pop culture figures in the world had kept their dirty traps shut, right? This isn't much of an exaggeration of some of the post-election sniping out there. A-list celebrities endorsement boomerang on Harris Democrats. Read the headline of a reported news story in The Hill on Saturday. Overseas, The Guardian ran an article. Did celebrity endorsements actually harm Kamala Harris? Some right-leaning publications actually declared that the whole idea of artists and entertainers speaking up had suddenly been killed in its tracks, apparently never to be seen again in 2028 or any time after. Kamala Harris and the death of the celebrity endorsement, read the headline from The Spectator. In The Spectator in the UK, echoed by an equally breathless piece in the New York Post titled, How Kamala Harris Killed the Celebrity Endorsement. Parading A-listers over policies was always a recipe for disaster. Well, I mean, she absolutely did. Uh, I, I'm very curious as to where this article is going, but they're kind of just repeating actually every mistake that the Harris campaign did, Brandon.
Hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I don't have much thoughts to add to it other than what I already said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think celebrity endorsements mean anything. In fact, even if you're not looking at politics, like, a lot
Mm-hmm.
of businesses have altered the way that they work with celebrities too, because celebrity endorsements, a celebrity just saying they endorse a product, for example, doesn't have any output. It doesn't, like, result in the same sales that it used to. And so the way that companies work with celebrities has also changed.
Well, I think we're just going to skip down to the final paragraph because I think the more this article goes on, the more it's just trying to convince itself of staying in its fantasy bubble, Fletcher. I could imagine that the shut up and sing crowd applauding those sentiments of Nelson's as good common sense for the entertainer. But there's a big asterisk to Willie explaining why he doesn't take big stands in concerts. If you notice, he's out there, Texas election after Texas election, supporting. We're talking about Willie Nelson, supporting Democratic candidates, and even at the state level, they usually lose. But he also shared the bill with Beyonce in Houston for Harris this year. He's not going to rub his convictions in your face every night, but neither is he going to be America's trained monkey and tuck them away altogether. So 2 years or 4 years from now, when entertainers and political parties have to face these choices again, it may be reasonable, as it is always, to pose the question, what would Willie do? Um, Give me your thoughts there as we switch to another celebrity uh, kind of complaining about all this, Fletcher.
No, I mean, I think it kind of goes along the lines with kind of what Brandon's saying. They're kind of figuring out that it might not as much weight as they thought it did. And that would also, you said, Polly, that, paying all this large amounts of cash to them, put them in the hole as a campaign. So it was basically, money badly spent. And instead going to these podcasts and just doing kind of groundwork and talking to people, going to visit the farmers, like you said, would have done the campaign a whole lot more, benefit, than actually paying 10 million to Beyonce. I think it's 1.8 million to Eminem. I
Wow.
think 5 million to Megan the Stallion and Lizzo. So I think they said that Alanis Morissette was gonna perform, but her check didn't clear because it was at the end of the campaign or something. And I was like, that can't be right. But then when you told me that they were broke, I was like, oh my gosh, I guess it might not have been something
Right.
that was fake. It could have been right. And I'm like, what? I want to know how much they pay like Bon Jovi and stuff like that. But I mean,
There's a
that's just
list.
crazy.
There's a broken down,
Yeah,
itemized budget of what they pay these people.
that's just
Um,
crazy.
and then I believe TMZ met Oprah Winfrey on her morning walk to her car or something like that, and she denied that she got paid anything.
You know, if Oprah got paid, I would have been surprised. She's a billionaire. You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah,
I'm
I
sure
would be
she gets
surprised
other
if she got
kinds of
paid too.
yeah. I think she might get
I
other
think
kind of
she got,
benefits.
they've probably sent some money to one of her charities or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
But George Clooney is is being attacked. He's taking a step back from politics after being made a scapegoat for Kamala Harris's loss.
Oh
What
no.
is going on here? We got the Daily Mail. George Clooney feels he's being used as a scapegoat in the fierce blame
What?
game over who could have cost Harris the election, and how and now he's going to take a step back from politics. The Hollywood star, 63. Is he really a star now? Still? I mean, let's be real. Through his support, he just threw it, Brandon,
That's
behind Harris after penning a blistering op-ed on why Joe Biden would cost the Democrats the win if he didn't abandon his campaign. But it still wasn't enough to prevent a historic victory for Donald Trump. Clooney has since been criticized by the Democrats for his influence during the election, with some claiming Harris's loss was his fault. I have to tell you, man, I do remember that op-ed. It came after him and Obama had to hand walk Biden off stage of a
Yeah,
Hollywood fundraiser. That
yeah.
kind of started the ball rolling, Brandon.
Well, it's politics, right? He turned his back on Biden, and now Kamala's turning her back um on Clooney. So it's just the nature of
Clooney.
politics. Um, so.
Let me ask you this: do you feel bad for Clooney?
No, I mean, like I said, that's politics. Like that's the game that you play.
Right.
All these people are backstabbers. That's what they do. Nobody should get involved with politics without reading Machiavelli at the very least first. That's the game that all these people play. So of course they're going to turn him into a scapegoat. I don't know why he's surprised by it. There's no loyalty in politics.
What I really want to blame Clooney for is that terrible Batman movie he did in the late 90s. Hi-oh, hi-oh,
Choo choo choo
hi-oh.
choo.
I liked him in Dust Till Dawn, and I think that's about the
Yes.
only movie I ever really liked him in.
Yeah, but he was great, but that was a great ensemble movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Um,
Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12.
he was
I've
fun in
never
that.
seen any of the Ocean's movies.
Oh, they're fun.
Oh,
I just
dude.
don't. That's not my type of movie. But
Oh, you'd like it.
I just saw a
Yeah,
really good
fun.
movie though. Past Lives. Have you seen that movie?
Yes.
Oh, that's such a good movie. I just watched that a few nights ago. That is a good movie. It's like one of the best movies I've seen all year.
Even though I mean it's more than 2 years old. But let's go on. The Oscar
Well, I've
winner is
been busy.
disheartened
I've
by
been
the
working.
backlash, with insiders claiming that he did not immediately endorse Harris because he felt the Democrats should have taken a step back and weigh their options. Yeah, maybe like last year they should have done that. George feels that the backlash he's getting for Kamala losing is not unwarranted. A source told the Daily Mail exclusively. He thinks it is completely unfair to try and make him a scapegoat for her loss. Oh, poor George. There he
Oh,
is, kind of sad.
pobrecito billionaire.
Oh my God, he has backed the Democratic Party and has invested so much time and money into them, but he's going to take a step back now. He feels very disheartened. They continued when he wrote his op-ed. George did not say Biden is not fit to be president. Choose Kamala. The Democrats jumped on Kamala, and within days, she was the candidate. George believes that they should have taken a step back and looked at their options. That is why he did not endorse her right away. I mean, to be fair, that is why a couple people didn't endorse her right away, namely the Obamas right away. Um, so,
Well, I
um,
still think he has a brighter future than Kamala. So he'll be fine. He'll walk away from politics for a little bit. He'll still make movies. He'll still be a star. Kamala, she's done. She has no real political future ahead of her. She's a failed candidate. She was never a good candidate. This is the second time around that she's ran. She didn't even make it through the primary process when she ran in what was it, 2016, something like that. And
mhm.
so, she's done for. I think she's a part of that Obama Biden coalition. I think she'll try to position herself as the lead voice of the opposition or the resistance. But I think ultimately she'll sort of fade away into obscurity and we'll never hear from her again or her cheesy accents.
It's okay. It's all right.
It's all right. So there's some, political commentators out there on X. Someone bring me George Clooney. We need to have a talk. Another X-Pen user said Trump should not forget to thank the Hollywood celebrities, especially George Clooney. That's a good one. That's a good one.